Good morning and welcome to Broward County's Office of Economic and Small Business Development Business Management System Vendor Training. My name is Maribel Feliciano. I'm the director with Broward County Office of Economic and Small Business Development, or OESBD for short. And today you'll have the opportunity to learn more about the new OESBD Business Management System powered by B2G Now. The BMS includes multiple modules that have been divided into a series of training workshops. You're going to learn about, throughout the various series of trainings, you're going to learn about the small business certification for new applications and renewals, the ability for primes to submit the monthly utilization reports, the ability for the subs to verify payments, electronic requests for certified firms, team adjustments, and a lot more. The new BMS is going to go live on January 26th, and the training sessions are being recorded. That will help you go back to, you can go to our YouTube channel to view the various training sessions if you have any questions about the system. However, our staff, the Broward County Office of Economic and Small Business Development, is available to provide technical assistance and answer any questions you may have. You can just call our office at 954-357-6400, and we'll be glad to assist you. And B2G Now staff is also available to provide technical assistance. Now we're going to go ahead and proceed with today's training session that is going to go over utilization plans, revenue, and expenditures reporting as part of the concessions. At the end of the training, you will have the opportunity to ask any questions. We're going to have a live Q&A session with staff from B2G Now and staff from OESBD to answer any questions you may have. Again, welcome, and let's get ready for the training session.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining Utilization Plan Training for Vendors, hosted by B2G Now. This training is for prime contractors, subcontractors, or suppliers for when a utilization plan is required after contract award. Before we begin, please ensure your cameras are turned off and your phones are muted. This training will cover all of the steps in the utilization plan process. We discuss system notifications you can expect to receive when you're sent a utilization plan by Broward County staff or your prime contractor. We'll cover how to complete and submit a utilization plan, including how to access your plans that are pending submission and fill in plan details. We'll look at how to add subcontractors and confirm your participation as a subcontractor, and any waiver summary details that are also applicable. And finally, we'll navigate plan statuses as you submit and await further information from agency staff. Utilization plans will be initiated by the organization you're working with after contract award. The plan shares with the agency your intentions of which subcontractors you will work with during the project that you've been awarded. Today's training will specifically cover how to submit that utilization plan after you have been awarded a contract with Broward County. The system will notify you by email when a utilization plan is assigned to you. Access to the plan is accessible via your dashboard or the navigation menu. You'll be able to fill in plan details, add all subs and suppliers performing on the contract, including those certified vendors whose participation is needed to meet the goal. And always make sure you have enough certified participation to meet the assigned goal, or be prepared to submit good faith effort details to request a waiver. At each stage of this process, you can view the plan status on the dashboard, and we'll go through each of these steps today. Staff will create the utilization plan and assign it to your company and select the assigned contact from a list of your authorized staff. That assignment can be changed if needed when you are in the record, but staff may also add special instructions for your review, so always pay attention to what is noted here. Always also want to check the due date and time, which is going to be included in your plan details. And failure to submit the plan on or before that date and time may cause contract delays, as staff will need time to review your submission. You will be notified by email when a plan has been assigned for you to complete, and you may receive a call from the organization awarding the contract as well. You'll find your utilization plan under the Utilization Plan Pending Submittal Plan on your dashboard, or in the View submenu. You can click on a link to view the plan and follow the prompts. So let's take a moment and dive into the system to see how we can follow the steps and submit a plan. To start, you can access Broward County's public portal page by accessing and logging in through vendor login. You'll need your username and password available, and once you're logged in, you'll be able to see our utilization plans pending submission. Again, these will be submitted by staff, so you'll have these available, and a notification will be able to take you here as well. And when we select our pending submission plans, you can see here we have one plan that's open, as well as the due date, the organization, and the reference that has been placed within that proposal. You can always filter by status as time goes on, so you can look at any submitted, pending submitted, or other statuses that we'll get into in a moment, being conditionally approved, returned, resubmitted, approved, or denied plans, as well as several others. But for now, we only have this one plan that's pending submission. We'll be able to come in and select Open. Here you'll be able to see any general information and instructions, and any special instructions that the staff has provided for you is going to be here in red. So it's easy to see and hard to miss. Our utilization plan summary is going to be available here. So we'll have the organization that this plan is being submitted for, the proposal, which will often be the contract number and name, the reference number for any reference if you need to reference this for our support or Broward staff, the phase, this one is the original, it's version 0, the status, which we just saw is pending submission, as well as the notification date and due date in red. The assigned contact right now is just our test vendor 1, but if you have other staff members who you'd like to review this, you can change this. It's a simple drop down, and you should have a list of users here available. There are several steps that we'll be going through here. The first is that we'll be able to provide utilization plan information. This information is always in the form of an estimated bid or transaction amount. Step 2 will be to add your subcontractors and provide that subcontractor information. Step 3 would be to provide any sort of waiver request details if they are applicable. And then we'll finally sign and submit that utilization plan. Starting back at step 1, again, we'll need to enter that estimated bid and transaction amount. So if we select to fill in our utilization plan details, we can enter this estimated bid and transaction amount. This right now has already been entered by Broward County staff. This was likely what you submitted in your initial bid. So they have entered it here under this utilization plan for you. If this needs to change at all, you do have the option to change this. You can add any attached files, and of course, these are always helpful to provide as many details as possible. And then you can add any comments. Once we save, this information is saved as well as the comments here for easy viewing, and we're able to move on to step 2. In step 2, we'll be adding any sort of subcontractors that you might be utilizing for this specific contract. We'll be selecting the Add Subcontractor button to begin to fill them in here, and when we do, we're brought to our subcontractor addition page. The first thing we'll want to do is assign a subcontractor, and we'll do that by selecting Get Subcontractor. From here, we have our search parameters that are going to be basic throughout the system. We can search by business name, contact person, city, state, zip code, any sort of address information. The easiest way to go through and submit this will be a system vendor number as well that we can access from the system. So if you can search by it, this is great. Today, though, we're going to be searching just by business name. We'll search for our second test vendor for Broward County, and you can see there's only one business name that comes up. We also have their location and their phone number if you'd like to verify that, and then we can select the vendor. When you select the vendor, you then ask to choose a contact person and address, which you can adjust. And if you don't see them listed here, we do have quick add features where you're able to add a user or address directly into the system. We'll also be able to see their applicable vendor certifications. So we can see that this specific vendor is CBE certified by Broward County. So we'd like to try and make sure that they're being counted towards our CBE goal on this contract. We'll add a proposed amount in percent. So let's go ahead and say by amount, and we're putting in maybe 10,000 here. They are subcontracted to the prime, but of course, if you needed to add lower tiered subs, you could add that as well. We are going to count them towards that CBE goal, as I mentioned, since they are CBE certified. We can also choose their type of participation, whether they're a subcontractor, a supplier for manufacturers, regular dealers, or distributors. We have a venture, a fees and commission broker, trucking and hauling or brokerage, and a self-performing prime. For now, we'll go and select just a simple subcontractor. And according to this policy, goal participation will be counted at 100%. Some of these are changing and can be different things. So if we choose a supplier, you're able to go ahead and adjust that percentage if you'd like. I believe others, like a supplier distributor, are hard set at 40%. So this is up to you and how we can work with this. Again, we'll stick with a subcontractor and we'll have that at 100%. We will be able to see the work codes and work description. We'll need to add these. Work codes specifically will pull in any sort of NAICS codes that the county is certified for, or excuse me, not the county, but the firm is certified for with the county. You can see here that this firm is specifically certified for janitorial services. So we'll be able to check this box and assign the selected work code. After we scroll down, you can see here we have a green check mark. This is a currently assigned work code, and we can go ahead and just put this in to our work description as well. We'll have an estimated start and end date, so we can say maybe we're starting, we'll start today. Our estimated end date we'll put for a year from now. You can attach any files that you have. You can attach any files that you might like to, just for further information, and add any comments as well that might pertain to this particular subcontractor. For now, though, we have all the information we need, so we'll select to save. Now, scrolling down, we can see that this subcontractor has been added to this utilization plan. You can see they're a first tier sub. They are certified for the certification type and the goal type that we're including them in. They are a subcontractor, and we've committed them to $10,000, which is 20% of our current contract. They are also looking for about 20% of of this contract value, so we should be well above the 10% goal that we're met. So we can see here under step 3, we have the goal, our CBE goal is 10%. We've currently established that we have are meeting this goal at 20%, given that we have one subcontractor who is being counted 20% for credit. So we are 10% above the goal. That means that these goals are met. We don't have to enter any sort of waiver information, and we are good to go. Now let's go ahead and change this quickly. If we go back and select to view, and we go back down here, and we select to edit. Let's go ahead and change this proposed amount and make this lower than it already is. Let's make it maybe $1,000. If we save this now, we go back down, we can see here that our subcontractor is now contributing 2% for credit to our CBE goal. We can see now below that step 3 has changed. For the 10% CBE goal, we are only hitting that 2% with this one subcontractor. Maybe you've done your due diligence, you've reached out to other vendors. There is a lot of work going on, and the availability from these vendors just doesn't exist. You're unable to source the number of firms that you might need to meet this goal, and that's okay. We're able to attach waiver files to prove that you did put forth good faith and capture that good faith effort. Attaching waiver files is as simple as just selecting this information, and you're able to then drop files in this that will, again, prove that you put forth that effort to try and meet your goal. We want as many details as you can possibly provide within this information. And so if you can provide, again, as many files as you need or any other information you can, it will always help put us forward and make sure that we have the info that we need. We'll go ahead and just drop a file in here. And you can see now that we have this in, we'll upload this file. And this file is now attached. And you can continue to drop files in here and attach them. Again, more information is always better. Once this information is in, we would also need to attach any sort of details here. Please, again, be as detailed as possible. These comments are always valuable to staff, and we want to make sure that we are have as much detail up front so we can make a proper determination. So maybe we just say that businesses are not available. Good faith efforts are attached. Now that this is done, we've entered the information to show that our waiver's in, and we can save waiver details. Scrolling down now, You're able to view, edit, and attach any additional waiver files. You can still maintain this information, and you can see a full list of the attached files here as well. So we have all of the information available. So now that steps 1 through 3 are complete, the last step that we need to do is sign and submit our utilization plan. Before we can do this, we do need our subcontractors to confirm that they are expecting to work on this contract and that they're able to. You can see here under our confirm section that this is still pending for this subcontractor. If you have a number of subcontractors who aren't getting back to you, we are able to send a reminder to them here. And if we select this, you're able to just send a confirmation reminder notice to them that you are still awaiting this information before you can submit. So let's go ahead and jump into the subcontractor side of things and see what it looks like to actually confirm this submission as a sub. Listed subcontractors and suppliers will be notified to confirm the participation scope and award amount that you have listed. This is an example of a notification that is sent to the subcontractor. You can easily access the plan by clicking the link available in the notification and logging into the system. Some organizations only require certified firms to confirm, and others require all subcontractors to confirm. When they log into the system, they can easily access the utilization plan and confirm their confirmation as a subcontractor by selecting to view my utilization plans or access the pending confirmation as subcontractors directly from the dashboard. Now logging in as a subcontractor, we're able to again view on the dashboard and we can see pending confirmation as subcontractor. When we select this link, we're taken to our line item view. We can see our status is pending confirmation by sub. This is for that one utilization plan we've just submitted, and we have one assignment pending. When we select to confirm, we're brought into our confirmation actions, and you can see all of the plan information here cleanly listed. We have the organization, the proposal and reference, the phase, the prime contractor, and the notification date. We are requested to submit a response from the listed item by clicking the link. This is the link in question. Under category, now we see that this sub is a tier 1 subcontractor to Broward County Test Vendor 1, so there should be no question as to who they are subcontracting to. And the action required in response due date is to confirm the proposed utilization, and we ask that they do this as soon as possible. When we confirm this proposed utilization, we're brought further into the confirmation page where we have our vendor name, our contact person, which can be changed if needed, the email that's tied to the subcontractor, as well as the address, the proposed utilization being the subcontractor tier that we just reviewed, the proposed amount, the type of participation, their work description and codes, the estimated start date and end date. The sub should be able to check all of this and understand whether or not this is correct. At that point, they can assign their confirmation. They can say, yes, the proposed utilization is confirmed, all information is correct, or no, the proposed utilization cannot be confirmed for the reasons detailed below. At that point, we ask that subcontractors attach any files detailing why they cannot be confirmed and add any comments to add further details and context for that determination. For now, though, this looks great. We'll go ahead and say yes, and then we'll need to have our e-signature just to confirm that we are actually confirming. So we can go ahead and say a name, a position, your organization auto fills, today's date also fills, and you can be sent a confirmation of your response for a paper trail. We will need to acknowledge that we are submitting this, and we will need to save. Our response has been saved, and you can see here now that there is no action required. Assignment was confirmed on today's date. Going back then to our prime contractor view, under the utilization plan where we're working through our submission, if we scroll down, we can now see under subcontractors that this subcontractor is confirmed. Further down, we're able to now sign and submit the utilization plan. When we select to submit the plan, once again, we're asked now as the prime to type our full legal name. We need our title again. The name again of your organization will autofill as well as today's date. We'll need to check the box that we can affirm this information we provided is updated as true and accurate, and we can finally submit our plan. Now, once we've been able to submit this plan, the agency will be able to review for submittal. As they're reviewing this, staff are going to determine the status of your utilization plan. They'll be able to see if it's good for approval, and if it is, congratulations, we're able to move forward with this plan and add these contractors to your contract. If they deny it, then something went wrong. They may not be able to work with the good faith effort that you've provided, or there is some other staff requirement that is not being met. Staff can also always return the plan for updates. This is something that we call conditionally approving. So they may return it to you for more updates. They can also say that if you return this with the information that we've requested, we will go ahead and approve this. Either way, more work is needed, and staff will detail what work exactly is needed. If that plan is returned to you, you will be advised for the reasons of that action, and then you can always make those needed updates, have those changes done, and resubmit. In this training, we have provided all the steps needed for Prime to complete and subs to confirm the assigned utilization plan. The system will notify you when a utilization plan is assigned to you to complete, and access to this plan is available through the dashboard and navigation menu. The primes will always add their bid amount if it's not already added, and then fill in the plan details. They can then add certified subs and suppliers needed to meet the goal to make sure that you have enough certified participation to meet that goal. And if you don't, you'll be needed to complete the goal waiver request, including your documented good faith efforts before submitting the completed plan. At each stage of this process, you can review the plan status on the dashboard. And of course, we do have our customer support and video library that are available for you if you need any additional assistance. For that information, you can choose our help and support link here. We can contact support directly from this page, and you can add any sort of message subject and any details in your message. The system will also take a screenshot of the system page where you've decided to contact support and share this with our team so they have an idea where you are in the system. If you'd like to attend any further training classes, we do have them available here for you to RSVP, as well as a full video library that is available for you to review for additional context and information. Our utilization plans vendor video here details what we've discussed today, and we're able to also look at any other videos that may pertain to the Broward County system. Additionally, if you have any needs outside of this area, you can access our help and tools from the help and tools bookmark up above. From here, again, you're able to contact support. You can report a problem, see any training classes or videos, and if you'd like to print out any page, you can also print to a PDF. With that, thank you again for your time. We appreciate your time today and hope that we will see you in later training classes.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started talking about airport concession audit reporting for vendors. We'll go through training for concessionaires, subtenants, suppliers, and even rental car concessionaires needing to report your revenue expenditures. In this training, we'll discuss and demonstrate how to monitor your concession records to ensure they're accurate and all the audits are complete. As the awarded concessionaire for a rental car or concession agreement, you must report earned revenues and concessions related to expenditures. You will be notified by email when a report is pending of completion. Links on that notification will take you to the audit report after login. You can also find these records on your homepage, dashboard, or from your View submenu, which we will review in this training. While you're in that record, you can request to add a new supplier, but new or changing store or passenger services location stores must be provided and added by the concessionaire staff only. We will show you quick links to allow you to send messages to concessions, compliance officers, a subtenant, or supplier. All right, let's go ahead and get started. All airports require revenue reporting each month or in some cases each quarter. So in the case of Broward County, they're requiring it quarterly. Be sure you are comfortable with this required reporting time frame and you watch out for email notices from that audit that is due. The notice will tell you the time period you need to report. It'll tell you details of the organization, so the session title, the number, your compliance officer, who they are. Links at the bottom will take you to the login screen. So after logging in with your username and password, you can access any record for your company anywhere system-wide, including the incomplete audit reports. The system will send reminder notices if needed. You can log into the system anytime you'd like. On the dashboard, you'll see all of the records system-wide. That includes the concessions and contract records that you'll have access, or even certification records, any other activities. From the dashboard, you can click any of these links, view details, to view the details behind the numbers that it's showing you. We'll get into the system in just a moment and we'll walk through what it's like to go through the dashboard. I want to show you a few more things before we log into the system. So once you've gotten into that record, you can click on any of the incomplete links of that record to see information about it. Once you click on that link, you will have the option click view submit response. And then from there, you can submit your response. Now, if you would like to get in contact with your compliance person, your concession, the person that is overseeing the concessions record that work for the agency for Broward County, you can do that by just scrolling down farther on the page and clicking on contact person concessionaire. You click on that link, that'll take you to the option to respond, send emails, send messages. There are some situations where you might need to send a message to them, so we'll kind of walk through that process as well once we log in to the system, which we're going to go ahead and do now. So let me exit out of here. I am logged in here. Let's go to this one instead. Okay, so I'm logged in here as a concessionaire. The one with the relationship with the agency that have the subtenants and the locations and even working with suppliers. So I'm logged in as a concessionaire here. As a concessionaire, again, as I mentioned in the earlier screens, a notification will be sent to you to come to this screen to go to directly to the concessionaire records or the list screen. When you're logged in, you can see all of concessionaire records associated for your firm, for your agency. You can see them here on your dashboard. So we see concessions, and we also see the full audits that's available as well related to it. Okay, so if I were to just click on concessions here, it will take me to the concessions transaction page. Okay, so here on the concessions transaction page, again, you can also access the concessions transaction page by coming here to view my concessions, and you'll see the concessions transaction page here. All right, so you can see on the concessions transactions page, you see all of the concessions available. You're a concessionaire as one. If you were a subtenant, you would see yourself listed, your concession records or concession agreements that are listed as a subtenant, and even you can see the concessions as a supplier here as well. So those are all things that you see here on this screen. All right, so to get to the concession record, you just click on view. As mentioned in my screenshot here, you can see the concessions information related. If you want to look at a specific audit, we can come here to the audit history, click on view audit, and notice if we scroll down a bit, we'll see the compliance officer information. Okay, so there are, again, multiple times when you might need to reach out to the compliance officer. Maybe you want to, maybe your audit is locked and you need their help with unlocking. You can reach out to them in that way. Just send them a message and it'll provide you with the option to do a subject. It'll give the audit type and then just add in need to unlock the audit and provide a message. We'll talk about unlocking audits in just a moment. Okay, let's go ahead and navigate back to our concession record here. All right, so again, you click on the view audit, you see that information. All right, so that's the basic information that I wanted to show you about the audit, show you about this concession record. Let's go ahead, let's go back to my presentation here because I do want to highlight some important things. The audit summary shows all the revenues earned by all locations, certified revenues earned by certified subs, certified expenditures paid to the certified suppliers, and the certified percentage goal and percentage achieved to date. If none of the locations earned any revenue during the reporting period, you can quickly mark all of the remaining locations as 0 to complete the report. You can click the Submit All Incomplete Location Records to open a bulk payment reporting page or scroll down to report each location individually, one at a time. Report 0 only if there are no revenues or expenditures for that period. Leave the field blank if you don't yet have the data. So don't feel like you have to fill that in if you're still waiting on that data to come in. Report the data you have and come back and report more data as it comes in to you. Okay, so we're going to show, these are the areas you can mark all of them as 0, submit all incomplete records, or you can, like I said, scroll down at the bottom and report the records one at a time. All right, let's go ahead and talk about accessing the audits for the concession record. You can access the audits from the, again, My Concessions link. That'll take you to your vendor profile. It'll allow you to go to the concessions tab where you can view the completed audit. So you can view the concessions and then go into the audit. From this access option, you can view the entire record, including the audit history, and then you can request additional suppliers. So we see the entire history. We can also request additional suppliers here as well. Be sure all of your suppliers are listed and any suppliers missing from and add any suppliers missing from the report. To add a supplier, you'll fill in the details for that vendor. That concession suppliers are automatically added to the supplier list, so you'll just add them. An important note, when adding suppliers for rental car agreements, only ACDBE suppliers are needed. So only ACDBE suppliers performing a commercially useful function need to be listed individually and have expenditures to that supplier reported. Okay, so something we like to call out there. All right, let's go ahead and log into the system and show you how you're going to report your payments or your audits here. All right, so as mentioned, I was already here on this audit screen. Again, I could come here to My Concessions, view the whole audit, or Concessions Audits to view the audits to do the reporting, okay? Once I'm on that audit, I'm going to go back a screen here. All right, so I'm here on the concession management information, and you see that audit history here. All right, so once I'm on that audit, I can now go to the view audit link. So let's click here. All right, so I'm on view audit and I see the information. It's telling me the concession information. It's giving me that audit number, the period, and the date, the due date that I should respond. I'm a little behind on the due date, so let's see what happens. I think this one will allow us to submit, but just keep in mind you want to submit these before the due date. If you do happen to try to submit the audit and you get an error message, you can always come back to this screen again and send a message to this contact person that's listed in your audit screen and ask them to help you to unlock the audit, and they can do that. Okay, you'll just send a message to them. All right, let's click on view submit response. All right, so I'm here ready to report. As noted, this is my audit summary. It gives you all of the summary details to date about this specific concessionaire record, so that we can click on this submit all incomplete, so we can do them all at once, submit the record. We can, if we know that there were no expenditures or revenues reported for that specific period, we can mark them all as 0. Okay, or we could scroll down here, like you see under this audit revenue section, and we can take the action of submitting the response individually. Okay, so in those events or situations where you might have some revenue for one, but you don't have it for others, this might be your best route to go. So we're going to go and we're going to select Bubba Carr's Bakery. I think this is our one we want to select right now. So I clicked on it. I'm able, although I'm past my due date in this example, it looks like the agency unlocked the audit for me. So I'm able to submit the report. We'll look at one where it's locked, where you would, so you can see what that would look like. Okay, you have the subtenant and location information here for the reporting. You have any previous revenue information. Nothing's been reported so far. It's kind of new for this one. And then down here, you have your audit information. So you'll just want to put in what is the revenue for the third quarter of 2025 for this specific action. All right, so we're going to say, that seems about right. We're going to say that's our revenue. If we need to attach files, we can. You can attach any file, PDF, Excel, even an image if you have one, JPEG, PNG. There are some limitations on how big that file should be, but you can attach that if necessary, and you can add additional comments here if you would like to. Okay, and we'll click on review. This gives us the chance to review what we've selected, if this is accurate and the comma's in the right place. We're accurate, so we'll click on save here. All right, so it saved that revenue, it saved that report. Let's return to the audit here. So I'm on this audit. Let's see. All right, so we did the reporting for this concessionaire here. Notice here that this period we reported this, and we have a pending here. What this means is that the subtenant now will need to go and confirm, this specific subtenant will need to confirm that the revenues are accurate, that you've typed them in correctly. All right, and we'll show you in a few slides how to do that confirmation. Again, we can come in here and we can mark the remaining 0. So maybe there aren't any revenues to report for these remaining subtenants or concessionaires, or maybe we're still waiting on that information to come through from them. Let's look at another one. Let's look at adding expenditures for suppliers. So just as we identify the revenue, we do also want to make sure we're identifying the expenditures too. So I'm going to scroll down here. I have the same type of buttons. I can enter all incomplete expenditure records or just mark the remaining as 0. I also have this button here where I can add suppliers. Okay, so if I wanted to add an additional supplier, I can by just clicking this button here to click add supplier. Okay. All right. Let's use the enter all incomplete expenditure records here as our example. So we'll want to pull in that expenditure. We'll see here the information. It gives us all of the percentages, how much have been paid throughout so far. And so you just simply put your expenditures for this specific supplier in the box here. So let's say I spent for the quarter okay, for them, and I spent for them. Again, you can add comments to each one. Maybe you want to add invoice numbers, you want to add other details that can be done here as well. So we'll click on save. System's asking, are you sure you want to continue? Yes, we are, and we click OK. And notice here now our expenditure have been reported. Now, this one does also require confirmation by the supplier. Okay, so keep that in mind that the supplier, it's requiring confirmation there. Okay. All right. There may be times throughout where you might need to message either the subtenant or supplier. You can do so. You can message either through the system. The concessionaire can just simply click on the business name on the audit screen, and you'll receive a display of their email or a link to send a message to their email. So if you just simply click on that link like you see here on this email, it'll then take you to a messaging screen that looks similar to what I'm trying to show you here. Under here, it'll take you something similar. So you can just enter in the message. The system's going to pre-populate the subject. You can add a pin or add to that subject if you need to. Then you can add additional emails. So if you want to copy someone else from your organization, or maybe even copy the compliance officer or anyone else, you can do so when you send those messages over to those individual concessionaires. All messages that are sent from the system are recorded and saved under View My Messages. You'll see them listed here under your Messages tab. You'll see every message that's saved there. All right, so now that we've reported the payments to the suppliers in the locations and the revenues and the expenditures, we can now log into the system and see what it's going to be like to confirm as a supplier or as a location owner. Okay, so let's go look at that in just a moment. Look at that now. Okay, I'm going to flip screens here. So now I am one of the locations or the suppliers, just like you saw as the concessionaire. You'll see the dashboard here. You'll see the concessions records. Sorry. You'll see the concessions record, so you can see the full-on concessions. You can see the audits here. So let's go ahead and click on audit. Okay, so we see there's 2 incomplete audits for this particular contract or concession number. Now you can see only those that are assigned to you, or uncheck this box here to see those that are assigned throughout your entire organization. You can also filter the audit periods to see those that are specific to the audit periods that you're working on. So there's some flexibility there. All right, I'm going to click on the incomplete. All right, so I see the same audit information. I can contact as the location, the subtenant, or the supplier. I can see the contact person as well if I need to reach out to them. And we'll click on View Submit. All right. So this here is identifying that we are looking for that action. This period, the concessionaire reported that I received, my revenue was $500,000. So I need to now respond to that. So let's click on some response. When we click submit response, notice there's the information here about that concessionaire. There's the information about what was previously reported. You will see audit information here. So you'll want to scroll down to see that. System is going to ask you to confirm reported amount. Is this amount correct? If it is, then select yes. Okay, and move on. If it is not correct, select no and then enter and provide the correct information here. Okay, now if there is a discrepancy, this will be sent over to the location, the concessionaire, letting them know that there's a discrepancy, and you guys can work that and resolve that out together. Okay, so yes, this is accurate. Notate if this is the final revenue or not. This is not. We've got more revenue to go. And then you can attach files or comments as well. If you do say no, the system asks you to attach a comment, so explain what really is going on, just for recording purposes. Okay, so we'll go ahead and click on review because we're good to go there. All right, we have one more opportunity to make adjustments. If we find something is wrong, we looked at it again, we can click on either of these edits buttons here. There's even one down here at the bottom that you can select. All right, and then we'll click on save. And now that is saved, we have done our confirmation duty. Okay, so we go here, return to all, everything is all done. It's been reported, it's been confirmed by me. We're all done with our work until we need to come back and do this again for the next audit period or the next quarter, right? Very simple. Now, let's say, for example, we also are a supplier. And so there have been reports that we, this period for suppliers, we were paid $50,000 in supplies. It's now our time to confirm if that's accurate or not. Okay, so now I scroll down here to audit expenditure details. So I have an action. I'm going to submit the response. Okay, and now that I've submitted the response, just like with the revenue confirmation, the expenditure confirmation looks pretty similar. Okay, so it tells us the previous expenditure information, and then we also have the audit information. So amount reported was this amount here. Confirmed reported amount, as this amount was paid to us, is correct. So yep, this is correct. Again, just like with the other one, if it's not correct, you'll just simply select no, enter the amount, and when we scroll down here at the bottom, we can go ahead and add a comment as to what is wrong, what's not correct about it. Okay, so we're selecting that. Notate whether it's a final payment. We're going to say no because we still got more. If the concessionaire is withholding retainage, please make note of what that is. Just select the yes, enter in the amount that's withheld, and then the amount, the time frame or the date you expect to receive that withheld retainage. Okay, so then you'll select no. And again, you can attach files, add additional comments, and click on review. When you click review, you have those same edit options here. So you can make edits where necessary, and then you'll click on save. All right, and the responsibility there, you are complete. You're done. You have confirmed all of the audits. You have confirmed for both the revenues and expenditures. So whichever one applies to you, I've shown you how to do both of those. Again, if you are a subtenant or a supplier that maybe need to message your compliance officer or your concessionaire officer who is working on this, you can always go back, return to the audit notice, and there is a link here where you can message them through the system. And again, those messages are saved here on your left navigation screen here, or under view, sorry. They're saved here under view. my messages and you'll see them saved. Okay, let's talk about rental car agreements. The rental car agreement record is formatted the same way as the concession record. You will take the exact same steps and utilize the same feature for both. You can message your concessions officer and suppliers exactly the same way. You can request to add additional suppliers through the Add Suppliers link the same. Note, all requests to add a new ACDBE supplier to a rental car record must be verified and approved by the concessions officer before being added to that record. So that might be something that you want to consider. There are a few significant differences when completing an audit for a rental car concessions that has an expenditure-based ACDBE percentage goal. So verify that goal base with your concessions officer, first of all. And as with the concessions, you will access the audit from the dashboard. So you'll go from the same place, view my concessions. And when you click on the audit link, you will first report total expenditures for the period of in that audit summary field. This includes expenditures to ACDBEs and non-ACDBE suppliers from whom you purchase goods or services for that airport. Okay. In the audit review field, you'll report the total revenues for the reporting period. So when the audit expenditure, then in the audit expenditure field, you will report the total expenditures to each ACDBE supplier listed. Remember, the total amount paid to the ACDBE suppliers must be included in the total expenditure amount. These are the only reporting differences between concessions and car renting concessions. Everything else look and work the same. Okay. All right. So we've gone through a lot in this training. It's very simple as you see, but just want to leave you with a few key areas of help. If you would like to see general training about this specific topic, you can go to Help and Support Video Library. You'll see general training and you'll see this same Broward County video available to you inside of the system. So you'll just see that under video. So if you've missed it, you're going to watch it again, you can do so through the videos. There's also custom training classes. So if you need a little additional help with using our system and navigating, there's training classes that's available that are standard offered monthly. You can also see those under key actions, those training classes as well, or the training videos under key actions. If you get stuck, you are trying to figure out what to do, you've gotten yourself in a little pickle, you can always contact our customer support as well. And so there's links at the bottom also under help and support where you can do that too. Okay. We went through a lot of stuff. We have shown you the steps necessary for you to monitor your concession and car rental records to ensure they're accurate and that all the audits are complete. We showed a simple audit notification email. You to watch for the notices to be sure your report is submitted when requested. You were shown how to access those concession audits from several links available in the system. Remember that you can request to add a new or missing supplier but new or changing store or passenger location stores must be approved and added by the airport concession staff. So you can't add those or request those yourself, but you can message them through the system to say, hey, I'm adding something. You work those things out with them and they'll work it out again with you. If you need to communicate with them or your compliance officer or your participating vendors, I showed you quickly how to get to them and how to communicate to them through the system and where that information is saved. And then remember also, there's a recorded training, a general recorded training. There's this recorded training that you'll see in your library. So, and then coming soon, we'll have additional help and support articles that you'll be able to read to help you along the way. Thank you.
Hey everyone, thank you for taking the time to sit through our trainings today. We'll begin our Q&A portion of this session. My name is Andrew Abbey. I'm working with B2G now. I'd like to introduce Donna Ann Knapp as well, who is our Small Business Development Manager with Broward County. She is here to answer any sort of program-specific questions. I can handle any sort of technical questions you might have about what we reviewed today. So please go ahead and drop your questions in the chat, and we can go ahead and start answering those. While we're waiting for questions to come in, I do want to make a note as well that these recordings for these trainings will be available on Broward County's YouTube channel. They will also be available within the business management system as you are logging into it. So as the system goes live and you're starting to get moving, you can, of course, revisit these trainings at any time.
No questions yet. Looks like the video was very thorough.
Yeah, it's great to see.
Okay.
All right. I think we're good then. Donna Ann, do you have anything to add?
Nope, that's it. You already reminded everyone that the recordings are going to be on OESBD's YouTube channel, so they can refer to it at any time. That's it.
Perfect. And again, as the videos had stated, if you do have any sort of questions, feel free to either reach out to Broward County directly or submit a support ticket through the system, and we can make sure that someone is available to assist you. So thank you again for your time today, and we look forward to working with you in the future.
Bye, everyone.